Hello, Jim Mulady from Shore West Realtors here in the North Woods. Here to talk about not the best subject in the world, but it's a necessary one if you have indoor plumbing, which most of us have. There's a few one-holer and two-holers out here, but most of us have actually gotten to the point where we got indoor plumbing. Isn't that something? So we should learn a little bit about septic systems. I know a lot of people come up from city and you basically flush the toilet. It goes off a large pipe and goes out to the city sewer. Up here, most of our homes aren't that fortunate. We have to have a septic system. Luckily, we're blessed with mostly sandy soils, which are ideal for septic systems, and Mother Nature does the exact same thing that your big city sanitary systems do, only we do it on a much smaller scale. So now I'm going to actually show you the basic types. The most basic type of septic system is, the first one is a holding tank. And that's where just the effluent flows into a big old chamber and sits there until the pumper comes and pumps it out. That's the simplest. It's kind of expensive to maintain because every time the pumper comes out, it's $100 or $200 for him to pump out your 2,000, 2,500 gallon system, maybe larger. The second type is a conventional system where we actually have everything flows into the tank and then turns into a liquid and flows out to a field via gravity. The third type is the same sort of thing as a conventional. We call the lift system, where we have to lift up the water to a certain point and then pump it up the hill, basically, is what we got to do, and pump it somewhere. And the fourth type of system is called a mound system. That's where we actually have not enough land between the ground and the groundwater and where the effluent's coming out, and we actually have to put in sand, and we put it above grade. We call that a mound. So here's some diagrams to help you out.
Now, the first kind of system is a holding tank. It's nothing more than a holding vessel that holds all the septic, and it just holds it until the septic pumper comes and pumps it out. Holding tank is the simplest of systems. It's nothing more than a tank. There are no pumps, no moving parts. The cons is you have to have it pumped often, and that can be costly. Second sort of system is a conventional system. That's where all the effluent flows into the septic tank and the solids liquefy until they are able to flow out to the drain field via gravity. So the pros are you can use an unlimited amount of water. There are really no cons to it. It's the most common system. It's a very good system to have here. Sometimes the soils are not proper right near the house where we can't use a gravity system. We have to use a lift system. We have to maybe pump it up a hill or move to better soils. Hence, we go to a two-chamber type of tank where there's effluent in the one tank until it liquefies and then goes into the next tank, and there's a pump in there and lifts it up to a drain field somewhere. Very reliable system, system that's also very common here. It's very robust for winter operation too. This does cost more because you need a bigger tank and you also need a pump. It's more complex, so you have moving parts, so you have more things to fail. But it is a good system, and sometimes you need to lift the sewage up to a higher elevation. Another type of system is a mound system, and it works similar to a lift system. Only this time we lift the effluent and the sewage above ground, and then we put dirt around it. We call that a mound system. Why do we need mounds? Sometimes we need space. You have to have 36 inches of space between the groundwater and the bottom of the drain field. If you don't have 36 inches of space, you actually have to go to a mound system. Mound systems cost the most. They're pretty reliable. They're not the most attractive if you have this large mound in your yard.
So that's it in a nutshell, all about septics. Hoping that is helpful. If it's not helpful enough, please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help you out with the septic tank and septic information. Thank you much. Jim Mulady from Shore West Realtors.